Help support the show by joining the Patreon or becoming a YouTube member. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
That's right. A lot of it depends on the quarterback position, and that's what a lot of y'all want to talk about is the quarterback position, right? We got Joe Flacco out there. We got Kenny Pickett out there. We have Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel all duking it out. Now, we've heard a lot of takes, a lot of excitement, a lot of different people jumping into the conversation now because, like, you look, Shedeur Sanders is immensely popular, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that his dad is one of the most popular athletes of all time, right?
Correct.
Like, there's no doubt about that, right? Like, this is a lot of that Sanders attention because if you actually look at Shedeur, pretty normal guy.
He's come in and he's done literally everything right. He don't say nothing crazy. He ain't
answers are immaculate. Look,
he ain't had no crazy. Listen, he ain't said nothing crazy. He done went and talked to the kids. He had everything early. He's staying after practice late. Like, he doing everything he's supposed to do, and that means a lot.
Hey, look, man, he is following the fan favorite backup quarterback template to a T, and he don't got to do any of that, right? He don't got to go to the school. He was already going to be the favorite quarterback on this team because he the one that people know, right? Other than Joe Flacco, which is why people just default to Joe Flacco. Shedeur Sanders here, but I think even like the small stuff, his press conference answers, I'm like, oh, he's polished here. Like, I don't know, like, what did he do in them interviews? Like, what actually
that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. But like I said, I seen some. We was talking about on the Cleveland show today. They were talking about what's his name? Gosh, Jory Epstein and Charles. What was it? Charles Brown? I can't remember whatever his name was. They wrote an article saying that they was trying to allude to the fact that maybe he's struggling picking up the playbook, you know, and that Dylan Gabriel is just wonderful at learning the terminology and the verbiage and all those things. And I said, my response to that was, if I'm watching the tape and Shedeur is balling like this and threading the needle like this, put a wristband on him. I still need to see him with the ones. Like, give him a wristband and at least let him get reps with the ones. The fact that he ain't got none is ridiculous to me.
You made me nervous as hell for about 5 seconds there, man. I didn't know where you was going. When you said Epstein, I was like, where are you going?
I said, that's her name, Jory Epstein.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me the first name before you went there. You
said Jory Epstein.
I was like, where are you going?
Hey, I don't think she got any affiliation with that Jeffrey guy.
I don't think so. No. I was like, whoa, what show do you think this is? But anyways,
not to be confused with that Jeffrey guy. I don't know. I don't think she know nothing about that.
Yes, but there is something to that. But like, I don't know. Here's the thing about like learn the playbook really fast, guy. I have never learned the NFL playbook, so I'm speaking out my ass on this, but I feel like coaches overrate that shit so much because you hear about like, oh, this guy just picked up the playbook. Like Josh Dobbs is the king of picking up a playbook. I ain't never seen him play good once he picked up the playbook. Like,
boy, you need to stop. You need to stop that. But Josh Dobbs had some games.
When has Josh Dobbs had them games, Tyvis? First week he signed. It's always, man, Josh Dobbs just arrived here. He didn't know anything.
Once they got
what he's doing. Week 5, week 6, we'll hear nothing from Josh Dobbs.
That's fair.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? He learned that playbook. I don't know what happened.
Well, I think a lot of it is, I mean, like the playbook is fine, but it's about reps. Like you gotta get out there, you gotta see it, you gotta feel it, you gotta have the chemistry. And the reason that I'm so frustrated that he's not getting the one reps because, all right, let's play devil's advocate. Let's say we go through all of joint practice, we get to the final preseason game and all these things, and let's just say Shedeur has looked the best, but he's never been with the ones. And now your season's coming up and you're trying to make a decision at quarterback. How is it that you're going to make a fair assessment if you've never seen him with the ones. You know, the playbook is something that he can learn over the course of a couple of weeks. Chemistry with receivers and being in that huddle, like that's something, the only way you're gonna get better at that is doing it. And the fact that they're holding him back, that to me is just, it's not right, especially when you rested Joe Flacco on a day and he still did get 1 reps. Like that's just a little crazy to me.
I think I agree with you if we get all the way to September, and it seems like there's no plan to get this man prepared to play at all this year. I would say that that's a problem, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to call it that big of a problem in like mini camp. Because like I could be corrected on this, but I don't even think Baker of the year, he got taken number 1 overall, took reps with the ones in mini camp, right?
Well,
like,
but it make sense to why Dylan Gabriel did.
Because Dylan Gabriel played at 3 different colleges, and they're convinced that he might be able to play right away faster than Shedeur. I think the process is flawed with Dylan too. Like I think they're I think they're too bought into the college like experience mattering in the NFL. Like, and that's why they're allowing Dylan to get these number 1 reps. I think if we get to camp and we're like past the first preseason game and he still ain't getting number 1 reps and he's looking good out there, okay, that's a real problem. I don't mind them playing it slow with him, like especially if they think they got something in him. I don't mind not rushing this, right? If they feel like there's some stuff that's delicate right now with like speeding it up against the ones, or they just want to build his confidence up when they want to put him in against the ones and see what that does for him, I'm willing to let them maneuver as long as it feels like there's a plan to get him out there this year. Because right now, I don't think you're in this camp, but there's a lot of people who want him to get them reps with the ones because they want him to play in September. And
like week 1? No, I'm not. No. I knew.
Look,
no. Joe or Kenny needs to start the season. I don't care if Shedeur or Dylan is lighting it up.
Like
I would still wait. I'd still wait till like week 6, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there to put them in.
I think the whole point of Joe Flacco, like for example, is you don't really have to use all the first team reps during the game week on Joe Flacco, right? Mm-hmm. Like if you wanted to use the season to get one of these, like the rookie you find the most promising, the one that they're deciding to take serious, right? Because that's what camp's going to be a battle of. Which quarterback do we take serious?
We'll learn a lot about it in the joint practices. The joint practice will be the ones that'll tell, like, all right, this is where guys start to separate. If you hear Shedeur, Dylan threading the needle against Carolina, against Philly, all right, get ready, because that's the guy that they're going to go with.
Now, we also have to prepare for what is the most likely scenario, because we've all been looking at this of, what if Shedeur still looks amazing? What if Shedeur, or Dylan looks amazing? Or we're kind of assuming they're going to keep looking how they do. The odds are the Browns have a really good defense, man. Like,
it definitely took a step back last year. So
yeah, but they reloaded on the defense. Like that's not an easy defense for a rookie quarterback to go up against, right?
True.
Like I think we can all agree on that, regardless if you think they're going to be an elite defense. They're also playing 2 joint practices, one against Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. That's arguably the best defense in the NFL. And the truth is that we're probably going to walk out of training camp with a murky picture of what's going on there, right? With these rookies, where it's like, hey, maybe they look good versus Carolina, but we don't think Carolina's going to be that good. So, like, how useful is it? Then when we played Philly, wasn't a lot of clips coming out of Philly, right? Like,
that joint practice last year against the Vikings was when I really found out that, Deshaun ain't going to be it. And then the reports was, the Vikings defense is all over. Now, don't get me wrong, the Vikings defense was one of the top defenses in the league last year.
Yes.
But they were like, he can't even complete a pass. I was like, well, it's over with.
There are 2 things we hear every year at joint practice, which is, I don't know how Deshaun looked, but also Myles Garrett, man, I don't know if our tackle's bad or if Myles is just that good, right? Every joint practice, some beat reporter goes, damn, that guy's really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember the first year we went to Philly, he was like, he's just tearing through our left tackle right now. Like our pro guy. He's just tearing through him. Like it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really figure it out there, right? Like who's ready, who's not, because you just get to go against some unfamiliar stuff. I think also with Shedeur, it's going to matter how he manages the pocket a little bit, like the progression he shows in preseason when it's live, because that's my number one concern with him is like he likes to roll out a lot. He's kind of premature with his movement. He got a lot better from year 3 to year 4 at Colorado at managing that stuff, but still had that tendency to want to roll out. And I think in the NFL where, you know, the 3 techs probably run like 4.8, right? Like
sure. Yeah, everybody's fast. Everybody's fast.
And look, I think that's one of them areas where Myles Garrett is helpful at practice, because just let him loose one practice with Shedeur Sanders out there. Yeah, he will understand how much time he don't got no more.
Yeah, he need to see it. Like, he gonna be like, oh my God.
I bet Dylan Gabriel was like, so I need to get it out quick.
Like, bruh, it's a hot route. I gotta throw this ball fast now.
I just imagine the shadow of Myles Garrett approaching him. He's like, there's no passing lane to fit this ball through, dog. I'm just gonna have to eat the sack. Like, what I'm gonna do, run away?
Yeah.
One step is like 5 of my steps for Myles Garrett.
He better just get down. Get down. Just get to see another down.
Hit that Peyton Manning. Take the knee. Aaron Rodgers. I promise you, Aaron Rodgers is going to slide. Just let Myles have one this year. Yep. Just like, oh, yeah, I'm out.
Yep, you got it. I ain't you ain't about to kill me.
He going to live to scream at his left tackle. Right? Like... For sure. But yeah, that's my one thing with the Shedeur thing is like, I get people are excited. I think Shedeur is a good quarterback prospect. I thought he was late first round, early second. So I'm not somebody who's low on him. I'm not somebody who thinks he's going to be a buzz, but I am somebody who has watched the Browns deal with this quarterback excitement cycle so many times to where like, I'm worried about how this cycle plays because it seems like we get so excited. We build up unrealistic expectations. That player in year 1 does not live up to that expectation. And then next thing you know, all that positive energy done turned into the darkest negative energy that you have ever seen surrounding a player, right? Like where it's like, damn, we're not going to let somebody grow. He had a bad year. It's like, no, he's trash. I never want to see him again. Like, look at how we ran this with like a 5th round pick in DTR the last time where people are like, oh, DTR is going to save us from Deshaun Watson. And then 2 years later, people are like, he's worse than PJ Walker, which like might be true, but damn. Like,
why you gotta bring PJ into this? Anyway,
because I've never seen Browns fans hate a dude who won games like they hated PJ.
Yeah, they did. I was hated PJ. I was a fan.
I like PJ.
I was a fan.
Yeah. But man, I remember talking to my audience about that. They was like, PJ is the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, damn. We've seen a lot, and we talk about him being the worst.
But this the big elephant in the room that nobody talks about is the development of quarterbacks within the Browns with Kevin Stfansky, under Kevin Stfansky, because, you know, Baker and him had I guess at the end it was a bad relationship. I guess it was fine, then it turned sour. Then you think about DTR. What happened with the DTR when played in games that he didn't even know he was starting in. You seen what's the other? It was another guy that they had. Kellen Mond they carried him on the roster for 2 years.
Now I'm not gonna blame Kellen Mond.
No, don't do that.
No, Kevin. Like, come on, man.
So why did you keep him around for 2 years?
But it was the 4th quarterback spot. Like, I'm not about to act like they drafted Kellen Mond in the 3rd round.
He was the first when he got cut.
But Kellen Mond never touched the field in a game.
He got cut. Make this make sense. He got cut by the Vikings. The Browns claimed him,
yes,
and made him inactive every week. That's ridiculous. So he took up a whole roster spot, and he wasn't good.
They was trying to see what they about to do with Deshaun next year. Like, you know, how do we work out this? Look, now because they did that, Tyvis, they know how to work around this Deshaun thing next year, where he gonna be in that hoodie all season. Like, you know, now they know the tips and tricks they need to work to run a 52-man roster. But I mean, like, we knew Kellen Mond was cheeks. It was a hope. That was a hope that they would fix that, right? Like, but to your point though, right? We can make an argument about if these guys were ever good enough to be good, no matter how good the development was, because like we're talking about 5th round picks, reclamation projects, right? Like not really premium assets here. And in this case, we're talking about on paper similar things. I think Shedeur feels a lot different than a 5th round pick for a lot of people. But on paper, we're talking about a 5th round pick and a 3rd round pick. And here, my whole thing is, okay, yeah, we have seen how they have failed these guys in the past and not giving us a fair chance to see if they're good or not. And that's why I am exactly on the path of let's just have them take this slow. Because what I don't want to see is, oh, we playing Baltimore week 2. Let's just throw Shedeur out there. It's Tuesday. Let's just see if he can play. And then Shedeur look bad.
They
and
now
everybody, and then now we got to deal with the Browns and ruin Shedeur.
I'm hoping you bringing in Tommy Reese and you bringing in Bill Musgrave, I think his last name is.
Yes, sir.
Bringing those two guys in will help you because there to me it has to be some type of disconnect between Kevin and the quarterbacks. The reason I would say that is Kevin hates quarterbacks that turn the football over. Yet every quarterback Kevin has had turns the ball over. The
ironic part is
a disconnect.
Well, the ironic part is the quarterbacks who turn the ball over look so much better than the ones who are not turning the ball over in Kevin's system. Right? Like that to me is because like you can see it right now in the split of what they're doing. Right, where you have Shedeur and Joe Flacco, I think are going to separate themselves during camp because they're going to be willing to throw backside digs, right? They're going to be willing to put the ball in a little bit of danger, you know, trust the receiver to get there. But then you have Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, who everything suggests that they're going to be pretty safe with that football, right? Like, and the thing is about Kevin Stefanski's offense, it never looks worse than when that's going down in the offense. Like Deshaun Watson was awful in 2024. He threw 70% of his passes at 5 yards below the line of scrimmage. Like
it was terrible.
That's why it looked DTR, right? When the offense looks awful, it's because somebody's afraid to turn the ball over. And Kevin hate them damn turnovers so much. But I'm like, at some point, you just got to let it go a little bit, right? And I hope that is something they have learned when they were like, we don't even think Jameis is good. But Jameis looks so much better than these other 2 quarterbacks last year. And there's just enough evidence to suggest that, yes, do you want to take care of the football? Sure. But you can't be so obsessed with it that all you get these guys to ever do is check the ball down because they think that's going to keep them on the field. And that's my worry with Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel is that we're going to get that Deshaun Watson DTR looking offense with them because they're not going to be willing to attack downfield because that's the most frustrating thing about watching the Browns on film at the beginning of the season was like so much was open down the field and we're just like,
They had that same thing. They had that same thing with Baker. That's what Baker used to miss those guys. That was over. Obviously, Odell did a whole highlight tape to tell you where he was missing them on them wide open things. So yeah, you gotta be able to roll the dice, and you got 2 quarterbacks like you say between Shedeur and Joe that will sling that ball down the field. And if you want your offense to truly take that step, that's what it's got to be. Like it is what it is.
And I think with Kevin, he is somebody who I think has a plan that works for quarterbacks who know what they're doing. But like, if you're a young quarterback and all you're going off of what Kevin said, I bet that shit confusing, right? Because he's like, hey, take care of the ball. Hey man, why you ain't throw this? Right? And then you get all kind of mixed signals. And I think him having a quarterback coach to separate him from those conversations, probably going to be beneficial for the development of that room, because I think it's been proven like when guys know that offense, it does work for them quite well.
Sure, yeah.
It's just like I think Kevin be confusing him. Like, because he
That's why I said. That's why I said it's going to Tommy Reese and Bill Musgrave because there's a disconnect somewhere.
They got a filter. They got a filter.
Like Kevin got to tell Tommy. Tommy got to tell Bill, and Bill got to say that they understand the way that they understand it.
Kevin, one of them, it seemed like they was like, DTR just a rookie, man. We can't have him do that. He play quarterback, don't he? Just the job. Like, you know, like I don't feel like, yeah, he's like, I want you to run this. I want you to make this read. And like, he's going to want you to do all of it, right? And I think there needs to be steps there to be like, hey, look, this works, but we can't go all the way right now. And that's exactly why I'm like, I'm fine with waiting for Shedeur to get out there, right? Like, you know, let him work in.
I've never been one to bang on the table like he needs to be the week 1 starter. I'm not in that camp, not at all. I want him to get. I need this a couple of weeks to go by him to really fill out the NFL before he jumps in there. Because there's so many. I don't want this to be like a Bryce Young situation where Bryce Young, they put him out there. Obviously, he was the number 1 pick, so they made him go out there. He looked terrible. They benched him for Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton go out there, have one good game. Then once Bryce comes back, now he looks good because he's had time to adjust. I don't want Dylan or Shedeur to go through that. I want them to be like, all right, let me see how it's going. Talk to Joe, talk to Kenny, whoever the starter is when they come off the field so you can hear what they say, see what they see. So when you get your chance out there, it's not foreign to you.
And also, Browns fans, I'm just going to prepare y'all for this. Right now, everything going good. People like excited about Shedeur. But I'm just letting y'all know. The day that man looked bad in practice on a preseason game, you about to find out how many people don't like him for no reason. Like, he has not earned any of this hatred, but it's just all this other stuff that comes with his last name, right? There are going to be so many people looking to make a buck off of either positive, like straight up only positive coverage of Shedeur Sanders or straight up only negative coverage of him, right? Like, this is going to be Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark kind of situation, right? Where it's going to be people who don't even care about football out here trying to tell us how he looked like in the preseason. Yeah. Right? Right. This is going to be on Good Morning America. Like, it's going to be what it's going to be. And y'all just need to prepare yourself for it. Because I know we've been through some stuff in Cleveland, but this is going to feel a little ridiculous.
It's exciting. Right? At least it's exciting. It gives us something to look forward to. You know?
At least it's not the last thing that made headline news.
There you go, boy. There.
Like Whoopi Goldberg having a bad Shedeur Sanders take, I can live with, considering what we spent the summer of 2022 having to do.
Man.
Like,
man, oh man.
Y'all remember all those lawyers people were bringing on? Like,
yes. Yeah, it was, yeah.
No, I ain't never trying to go back to that.
We've been through worse. We definitely been through worse.
And then we give them the biggest contract. Whew, boy, we know how to do. We know how to do some memorable stuff, don't we, in Cleveland? We do.
All I want is them to give me a big contract for my pregame and postgame coverage.
Hey, Tyvis, Powell, and Nathan.
Since we paying early, go ahead and
buy dude wipes.
Let's get that word. Shout out to Dude Wipes.
Yeah. So y'all tag Dude Wipes and tell him Tyvis need a sponsorship. Not even for a specific show. Just every time he show up, he got a pack of Dude Wipes in the background. Right?
We love your brown.
Is that their slogan?
That's what they said for the Browns when they was doing the Browns thing. Dude Wipes, we love your Browns.
No comment.
It was what it was.
No comment. But anything else we got to get out on this whole quarterback situation? You feel like we touched it?
No, I think we got it. I think we hit it good.
All right. Well, Tyvis, man, appreciate you for coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
You can find me on the UCSS Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 to 1 on YouTube. If you're down in the Columbus area, I'm on 6 to 9 a.m. morning drive, 97.1 The Fan, or you could download the 97.1 The Fan app, or you can get into YouTube. You watch it on YouTube. Just search 97.1 The Fan, and you'll see T-Bone and Tyvis You can watch that or listen or watch that every day, 6 to 9 a.m. In the fall, you can catch me on the Browns pre and post game show. And on Saturdays in the fall, you can catch me on the Big Ten Tailgate Show.
Let me put you on the spot. Harder to tackle at Ohio State, Zeke Elliott or Braxton Miller?
Ooh, probably Braxton. Zeke gonna drop that shoulder, so like it's coming. Braxton go he.
The joint
spin move, all kind of stuff.
I always wanted an answer on that. But y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.